Right, so hello and welcome back to Books and Things and welcome to another video. And today I thought I would do a Booktuber shout out video. So I try and do Booktuber shout-out videos every now and then, though I haven't done one for a little while. Sometimes I just tell you about some booktubers who I've been really enjoying lately, and sometimes I do sort of more, here are some particular videos I've been really enjoying lately. But I thought what I would do today was do a kind of small Booktuber shout-out, which I haven't done for a while. So I have 8 booktubers to tell you about today. All of these have under 1,000 subscribers. I think all but one of them have under 500 subscribers, and all of them are sort of relatively new to Booktube. Most of them have been around on Booktube for less than a year. Some of them quite a lot less than a year, and all of these are fairly new to me booktubers as well. I haven't been watching anyone on this list for more than a year, and a lot of these people I've just discovered in the last couple of months and have been really enjoying their content lately. So let's get straight into the booktubers. First I have Tilly from Chiles Shelf. So I have been watching her probably for nearly a year. I think she's one of the people on this list I've been watching for the longest time now. I discovered her last Victober and I really enjoy her channel. She has, I think, just around 300 subscribers at the point of filming this, and she, like I said, started Booktube around a year ago and then sort of had a little bit of less activity in the middle, but recently has been making a lot of videos again. I love her content so much. She is into classics a lot. She likes Jane Austen and she likes the Victorians, which of course I approve of, and her content is really insightful and clever and very, very different as well. She's done some really, really imaginative videos. I'm going to link down below for your edification and delight her Highbury reading project video, which she did for Jane Austen July, where she dressed up in Regency clothes and put on the persona of Emma Woodhouse and talked about the books that Emma Woodhouse talks about wanting to read or might be thinking about reading in the book Emma by Jane Austen, to talk about a lot of books from the period of Jane Austen and the kind of books that Emma would be reading. It is amazing. Genuinely one of the best things on the internet. You should go and watch that. It's amazing. If you like Jane Austen and if you've read Emma, you'll just find it absolutely hilarious for all the like mini in-jokes. And I especially enjoyed she gave all of the Austen characters like fake Twitter handles, not in reality, but like she mentioned them in the video, and they're all hilarious. Like you need to go watch it now, guys. You really, really do. Talking of her Jane Austen July content, I also really enjoyed her Jane Austen July tag, which she made with her mum, who is also a commenter of mine like Tilly, and whose opinions I really value and find really interesting. I really enjoyed watching their Jane Austen July tag and listening to all of their discussions about Jane Austen, and they had a lot of similar thoughts to me, which I found really interesting. Tilly and her mum both know their stuff when it comes to Jane Austen, and I really enjoyed watching that video. And I'm also going to link down below for you some of her Victober content from last year because it was so good. She made some videos which were kind of going through the Victorian period historically, talking about the books that she was reading because she ordered her Victober reading chronologically, and kind of discussing what was happening at the time that the books were written that she was reading, which is just fantastic. So I will link down below some of that as well. I highly recommend her channel. Next, I want to mention Brooke. I think she's been on Booktube for about a year, and I've been watching her for just under a year. I think she's got, just under 500 subscribers when I'm filming this, so depending on when I put it up, she might be slightly over 500 by then. I just really enjoy her channel. It is really fun and engaging, and she reads a really wide variety of books, which is something I always really enjoy. She's just one of those booktubers whose videos I always click on and always really enjoy watching, and whose videos are kind of chill and relaxed and calm and always so enjoyable to watch. I will link down below a few of her videos to get you started. I'm going to link down below her best books of the year so far video, which she made recently, one on her sort of bookish goals and updating you on how they were going, which I've really enjoyed as well, and also a recent wrap up so you can see the kind of things she reads in a typical month. Like I said, her reading is really varied, which I really enjoy. Next, I want to mention Jenny from Bookish Shenanigans. She's been on Booktube for 3 or 4 months now, I think, and she's got just over 200 subscribers when I'm filming this. She is amazing. She loves the Victorians a lot. She is doing a PhD on the role of pubs in Victorian literature, which just sounds absolutely amazing. Is it any wonder I enjoy her channel? She likes classics, like I said. She loves Victorian literature and also Jane Austen, but she also likes kind of literary and reading group fiction, and has been reading some of like the women's fiction long list and other such books. She reads a lot of books every month with quite a wide variety, which I find really, really interesting. and she has excellent taste in Victorian literature. In a recent video she said that Jenny Wren from Our Mutual Friend is her favourite Dickens character, who is my favourite Dickens character, so I just can't fault her. You should go and watch her channel because it is amazing. We also met up in real life recently and she was very nice in person as well, so I would highly recommend her channel. I will link down below a few of her videos to get you started. I'm going to link down below her favourite books of the year so far video, which will give you like a good idea of her bookish tastes, and I will also link down below a video she did recently on kind of reading stats and looking back on reading goals. And I'm also going to link down below, on a slightly different note, a video she made called 25 Things I've Learned in 25 Years, because another thing I really enjoy about Jenny's channel is that she's absolutely hilarious and very like deadpan funny, if that's the right term, and I think if you watch that video you will understand what I mean. Next I want to mention Tom from Tom Reads Things. I really enjoy Tom's channel. He has I think about 360 subscribers when I'm filming this, and he's been on BookTube for about 6 months, and his channel is so good. He loves historical fiction and also enjoys some classics as well, and he's very funny and entertaining to watch. His dogs also make regular appearances and they are very entertaining as well. I will link down below a recent wrap up for you, and then I'm also going to link down below a series he's been doing on his channel which I've been really enjoying on historical fiction. He's made 3 videos so far at the point when I'm filming this, and he talks about different historical fiction he's read in like the last year, what he thought of it, what was good and bad about it, what really worked and what didn't. I love historical fiction, as you know, and it's really nice to find another booktuber who talks a lot about historical fiction and who has, I think, quite similar taste in historical fiction to me. Another booktuber I want to recommend is Erin from With the Classics. She's got about 200 subscribers when I'm filming this, and I think she's been on BookTube just under a year. She is doing a PhD in English literature, which I don't think she's like specialised in it yet, because the way PhDs work in the US is not how I thought PhDs worked anywhere, but there we go. But I think she is interested in specialising in 17th century British literature and print culture, which sounds fascinating. She likes classics a lot, as you might be able to tell from her channel name, which of course I approve of, and she also enjoys historical fiction as well. I'm going to link down below a few of her videos, including her recent Classicsathon TBR, which shows like her range and different interests in classics, and her favourite books of 2018, which will do something similar. I'm also going to link down below a book review she made of Adam Bede by George Eliot, which she loved. Now I, as many of you will know, am really not a George Eliot fan, which is definitely one thing in which I do not share with Erin. She is someone who really likes George Eliot, and I don't. Like I said, I didn't like Adam Bede at all, but I loved watching her review of it because it made me think about things I hadn't really thought about before, and it made me see why people do love George Eliot, because I kind of get why people love George Eliot. I just also don't enjoy her writing style. But I found that book review really interesting for the way she kind of dissected Adam Bede and talked about what she did like about it and what she liked about the characterisation. And I think she especially made me think more about Adam Bede as a character. Because one thing I've often said about George Eliot is that I feel like she spends time with the wrong characters, and then whenever I read a George Eliot I'm like, but I'm not interested in the main character. Why are you telling me about Adam Bede? I want to read about his brother Seth, who was much more interesting. However, the way she talked about Adam as being this character who like everyone sort of thinks is perfect but actually has a lot of flaws, but his kind of reputation in the neighbourhood and the way people think about him has kind of mean that he kind of can't like acknowledge those flaws to himself, and he kind of like can't take hold of them and control of them, which I thought was just really interesting. If you've read Adam Bede, I would highly recommend watching that video. I will link it down below. Another booktuber I want to recommend is Madeline from Made With Books. I have been really enjoying her channel lately. I've only discovered it very recently, only really sort of in the last month, because she was taking part in Jane Austen's July, although I think she's another person who I like know her channel name from my comments and have always thought I've said interesting things and didn't realise for ages had a channel. So I think she's been on BookTube for about 6 months, and she has I think sort of 270 subscribers at this point. I just really enjoy her channel. She is very nice and friendly and chatty. She enjoys literary fiction and general fiction and classics, and she also lives in Germany and works in the book industry there, which is interesting too. So I'm going to link down below her BookTube newbie tag to kind of introduce you to her channel, and I'll also link down below a recent wrap up. And then another thing I will link on her channel is her series on dementia in literature, which I am finding fascinating so far. So she wrote her undergrad dissertation on this at university, on how dementia is taught about and written about in literature. And it's just an absolutely fascinating theme and something really different that I haven't really heard people talk about very much before. So I will definitely link down below the introduction to that series, and I would highly recommend her channel. The next person I want to recommend is Catherine from Taking Tea with Catherine. She is a very new booktuber. I think she's only been on BookTube for sort of less than 2 months. I think at this point she has under 50 subscribers, so definitely someone who I think needs some more subscribers, and some of you should go and watch her because I'm really, really enjoying her channel. A lot of the videos by her that I've been really enjoying, that I will link down below, were Jane Austen July videos, because she took part in Jane Austen July, and I've really enjoyed watching her videos. They've been so nice and enjoyable to watch, with so many like insightful thoughts about Jane Austen and her work. And I'm also going to link down below her ranking video she did, ranking Jane Austen's books from her least favourite to her most favourite, but talking about how much she loves them all, which I would highly recommend watching as well. She's such an interesting booktuber. I'm really enjoying her channel so far, and she likes Jane Austen, so you know, what more can you want? And then finally, I want to recommend Tia and All the Books. She has about 600 subscribers and has been on BookTube for I think about 4 months. She likes Jane Austen, someone else who took part in Jane Austen July, no surprise there, but she actually has really varied tastes, which I'm enjoying, and reads classics but also kind of literary and contemporary general fiction, and also sci-fi and fantasy and some YA. I also really love her intro music, which is a really minor point, but I really enjoy it when I'm in my watch later playlist and it turns on to one of her videos and I hear the intro, because it's just a really fun intro. I'm going to link down below so you can get introduced to her channel, her BookTube newbie tag, also her Jane Austen July tag, which I really enjoyed, and also some of her reading rush vlogs. She vlogged, like, did a daily vlog during the reading rush, which I really enjoyed, so I would highly recommend those as well. And that is it. Those are 8 smaller booktubers who I would really recommend. Please do let me know down in the comments if you watch any of these people, or if you're going to go and watch them now, because I would highly recommend their channels. And also, as always, if you have any smaller booktubers who you'd like to recommend me to watch, please do let me know, because I always am on the lookout for more people to watch, especially if they enjoy classics or historical fiction, because those are 2 of the things that I like to hear people talk about the most. And that is all. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll be back very soon with another bookish video.